Oh, wait, I hit the wrong thing. There we go. How we doing, people? I was like, wait, why is there's no visuals? I clicked the wrong scene. Hello, everybody. Wonderful to see you all. Welcome in. How are we doing? Snow on YouTube. Hello. Clocks, Demarsh, Grim, Retro, Metal, Sith. Muttley said, got my Midnight Edition hoodie yesterday. Absolutely loving it. I'm so glad, my friend. Thank you for picking one up. And I am elated to know that you like it. Thanks for letting me know. Espresso, George, A2, Kazin, Rampow. Galen, thank you so much for the tier 1 resub, my friend. I appreciate you supporting for over 6 months. That's incredibly kind. Thank you, thank you. Midnight, how we doing? Matt Kane, hello. Gage. Reaper. Eden said, hey, RogueGold, everyone here. Nice one. Nice one, nice one, nice one. How we doing, people? I also frequently click the wrong thing. Chris, we'll be in a boat together. It's a good time being in that's not really clumsy. That's what I was gonna say, but that's not quite right. Thank you for the bit, man. Just a bit of a party. Now it's a party. Thank you very much. Demarsh with the 2. I'll raise your bit by this bit I found in the fire from Postman's flamethrower that he was testing out on the PTS. Oh, you know what, people? I, for once, am glad that things are a little bit chill this week. It was a busy week last week. I'm very glad to have a stream that we can jump on today and just kind of chill. Of course, we're going to grind through stretch goals and do some stuff, but I'm more than okay with having a bit of downtime. So I hope you all are excited to kick back with me. We can chat about Gamescom next week. I see Ronald saying can't wait for Gamescom. Very excited for that. But until then, I am more than content with chilling a little bit. Karha, how you doing? Streamed on PC for 1 day. Already forgot how to stream on Xbox. Now I'm just missing my frames. I'm like 60 frames is maybe not cutting it anymore. Wicked Design, what's up? First time actually catching one of your live streams. What's up, my guy? What's going on? We're just here. We're chilling. We're doing our usual slightly cringy commentary. Very happy to have you here, though. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know the stream times are not always ideal for everybody, but pleasure to have you here. Are you going to stream Div 2 Gamescom? Yes, we will be live on Wednesday and Thursday next week to stream both panels. So that should be quite fun. I think last year we just did day 2 because that was the only one that they really hyped up as having a lot of crazy information, but we're going to stream both days. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm waiting for Survivors. That's going to be awesome. Indeed. Another stretch goals every season. Every season it comes through. OJS, what's good, RG? How are you? I'm wonderful, my guy. Really cannot complain. How are you? Hope your Tuesday is going well so far. Heck Team said, Rogue, have you tested to build for the new Incursion AR? The rifle? Yes, we actually have a full video for it up on the channel. I unfortunately am not too thrilled. I love the design and I want to use it so badly, but I think it needs more. It needs a buff. It needs better handling and it needs a stronger and more straightforward. Maybe straightforward is not the right word because its talent is straightforward. It just needs a better talent. So I'm doing the rounds. I tagged Alex on Twitter. I'm like, I will give you all my prototype cores if you can squeeze in a buff for this thing in season 3. And I made my video and I'm gonna keep shouting it because like I said, I want to run this thing so badly. I just need it to be better. What's up, Nick? Any chance season 3 is going to start adding more story to the game? Because is the Division timeframe even to the point of the Crossroads novels yet? I couldn't tell you, unfortunately. I mean, we know the premise for next season is that the cleaners are coming to DC. That was presented in the dev stream and it was available in the PTS. So if I had to guess, unfortunately, I would assume next season is going to kind of be similar to this one in terms of it just being kind of a side faction story. But I don't know. I hope we see more story stuff. I'm guessing we will get more of that in the DLC whenever that drops, because of course that is predicated upon a campaign and main missions, but we'll find out. Chris with the 10 stream streak. Thank you, man. I basically abandoned my PC character now. It's all the Martian Postman's fault. You abandoned it after the PTS this last weekend? What happened? That sounds ominous. All good, man. Looking forward to crossplay finally. Yeah, we're getting an update on that next week, they said. And I can't wait for it to drop. I think that's going to be a big moment for the community. Just joined in. Have you seen any news on the stretch goals and what's included? Tried Yubi's website. Didn't see anything about an hour ago. Indeed, Recon. I can link you the problem is they dropped the article. It's in the article from last week. So the year 8 season 2.3 patch notes alongside the incursion stuff. There's a tab for stretch goals that shows you everything that's in there. There's nothing too out of the ordinary. The usual, like, rare exotics are in there. There's a new outfit. We'll do it right now. So you can buy stretch goals again with textiles. I'm going to need to open a lot of apparel caches, though, to have that. So let's just start doing that. We can... Oh, I did see somebody ask if there was anything new in the store. I believe, yeah, they added a uniform for Irish Steel. So, and the last boss, I think, from the incursion that didn't have a bundle, is that right? Or maybe they didn't have Dwayne? I don't know. Anyway, these two were already there. You can also get Iris's fit as well. Here's what we're going to do, though. I'm just going to spam open apparel caches to get textiles to use on the stretch goals caches. I'm going to turn down the game audio so y'all don't get blasted by it. But we can just chat while that happens. Let me know if it's still too loud, but we're just going to do this for a few minutes. I could have done this off stream, but I was running late this morning, so sorry. You have to do it with me. But what are we thinking, people? What are your... Let's just get into it now. What are your predictions on... Whoops. Whoa, I hit the wrong button. What are your predictions on crossplay next week? Not Gamescom. Whether it is crossplay or Survivors of the DLC, what do you think they're going to say? Do we get release dates? Do we get gameplay? Do we get updates? Chris closes stream. Sad. Sith, if it is too loud, I can still turn it down more. I just figured it would be better than doing that. Can you use a macro to open caches, or is that turbo bad? I couldn't tell you. I genuinely don't know if that's frowned upon or not. I'm on console and using a controller, so I don't think that's quite an option for me. But if you have the means, I mean, might as well save yourself some time, right? But that's not legal advice. I don't know if that's against TOS or not. Ah, perfect. Glad you found a recon. Sorry, I was going to link it and then I got distracted. But I'm glad you found it. Omni Steph, thank you so much for the super chat on YouTube. Said, hey, hope you have a great day. That's very kind of you. Omni, thank you so much for supporting the channel and for sending a kind message. I hope you have a wonderful day as well. Definitely not release dates. Never get my hopes up. Tater, good morning to yourself. How you doing? Crossplay at the start of next season. So you think it's coming very soon? Because season 3 is supposed to be right around the corner. Hope it's both announced. Hope we'll get news on Survivors in Central Park. Well, we know there's news on Survivors. They've confirmed that. Central Park they've not named. But given they dropped the concept art, you would have to think that it'll be there. I think we'll get crossplay in November. Hope we get dates at least come at the end of the year. Why do you choose to play on console? Well, I started on console in 2019 when Div 2 launched, and given we don't have cross-save, I'm unwilling to main a new platform and regrind everything. Plus, I'm someone who appreciates having like legacy achievements, legacy cosmetics, and all that, and so I'm just not willing to give up my account to move over. Fortunately, I have the option to play on PC for stuff like PTS or if we have any sponsored segments like last week, but console is where I will be. Somebody asked, what are those legacy apparel caches year one stuff? Yeah, it's just older things that I don't know if like you can't get these in the store or something. I have everything in here though, and they've not replaced the stock for quite a long time. So I'm just stuck with four keys for that until they do something with it. Until Div 3, what's up, Orion? How you doing, man? Yeah, my plan at this point in time, assuming the Division 3 comes out with full cross-play from the beginning, which I think we can pretty much bank on it will. I'll start on PC from the beginning for Div 3. That'll make more sense at that time. Yeah, Ahsoka, so yeah, I'll switch to PC for that. But it shouldn't, at that point, it shouldn't really matter. It'll be kind of, you can play anywhere, save anywhere, assumedly. But yeah. Voodoo, what's up? Do you plan on playing the new extraction shooter Off the Grid? Is that new? I feel like I saw a gameplay for that thing and people playing it like 2 years ago or something. Did they do a relaunch? Honestly, I just don't know that much about it. Do you think I should play it? This isn't the Division 2 specifically, but as per Ubisoft's broader code of conduct, macros are against the rules regardless of how simple they are. They're considered cheating. Well, there you go. To whomever was asking about making a macro for this. Ubi says it's a no-no. So, take from that what you will. Yeah, I'm doing good, Orion. I was saying a minute ago when the stream started that I'm happy to have a down week this week. Last week was very chaotic, and next week, assumedly, we'll be pretty busy again with Gamescom, so I'm happy to have sort of a valley this week, if you will. I saw someone write a good comment, and then I forgot to read it out loud. Oh, Recon said the concept art for Central Park makes me think we're getting a jungle to play and super excited. Yeah, very overgrown. I'm curious about the timeline, because that, to me, does not look like the fall, like we saw with Brooklyn. So I don't know what that implies, or maybe it's just the way that that specific shot was framed and looks, but timeline I'll be interested about for sure. Oh. The game got mad. I'm doing so many of these. Let's give it a second to catch up. I really don't get how they can't figure out cross-save. Bungie did it on a really old engine. I mean, I couldn't give you a good answer. I'm not a game developer. What I do know is that every engine is different. Something that may be relatively easy or feasible in one may be totally complex and different in another. Plus, the kind of baseline thing you have to keep in mind with Div 2 is that we don't have the same dev team that we did at launch. And I think people often forget that even though the Bucharest team is now fully proficient in Snowdrop and they made a ton of content and all that, you're still dealing with a base layer of code and netcode or whatever the hell, how all that works. They're still dealing with work that they did not create. And so I think at the end of the day, that creates certain limitations and unexpected outcomes and whatnot. But I could not tell you, Rune. The calm before the storm, exactly. UB also says that auto-nemi is a no-no. That's a good one, Chris. If only they could shut that down for good. Dice, what's up? Any rumors on where the location for Div 3 will be? I heard Chicago, San Fran, Paris, even Russia. Thoughts? If you mean rumors in terms of like anything official, no. There is zero actual credible public information on anything involving Division 3 details. All of those locations have been put forward by fans as places they would love to go. I personally would love to see Chicago or Boston. I think that both of those locations would emulate similar vibes from Division 1, whether or not they want to set it in winter or just have like a system where the seasons rotate as you continue playing the game. But still being a new place, right? Like some people want them to do New York again, but have more of New York. I would rather they go somewhere completely new. But I think Chicago or Boston would at least give you a similar vibe. Welcome into Keto. Got the stream notif as soon as Hunter spawned in DZ West and a DZ drop. Kaya Loco, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Welcome. As a Destiny 2 refugee who's been playing more Div 2, catching up on DLC and Legacy manhunts. Oh, comment jumped away. Wow, my thing does not want me to scroll up. Have been seeing more and more Destiny 2 players come over. Oh, have you been seeing more Destiny 2 players come over your streams, YouTube video comment section? Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say like a huge influx, at least of people who are like identifying themselves as previous Destiny players, but absolutely, like, I mean, I go through my comments pretty regularly. I would say maybe 2 or 3 a day. I get comments of people saying, hey, and this is on usually like older guides for, you know, the game and whatnot. People saying, hey, I'm coming over from Destiny and XYZ. So yeah, I would say definitely there's that happening. There was also last week, there was a sponsored campaign that I was a part of where they partnered up some of us Division creators with Destiny people. So I ran through the new incursion with Ast Cross. Some other people on our side were involved with Grenader Jake and Mactix and Rick Kakis and Fallout and some others. And so I think recently there's been kind of an effort behind the scenes to bridge the two communities for sure. Do you have any plans on playing Escalation today? I don't know. I think I'm going to primarily focus on stretch goals levels, and we will see where that takes us. Red, thank you so much for the 7 stream streak. I appreciate it. All right, I had to take a large swig of water. Sorry. RGL said I used to main the Destiny franchise and the Division was my secondary looter game, but now primary, and I couldn't be happier now. Well, I'm so glad that you're having a good time over here, RGL. I know a lot of Destiny people try out Division, and even if they do enjoy it, it's still not quite the same for them, and I totally respect that. While the games share their similarities, they are still very different at the end of the day. But that makes me happy to hear that you're happy. So, welcome, welcome. Prodigy, what's up? Thanks for the reply. Saw your video with Astcross. Great to see the communities coming together. 100%. And that was a lot of fun. I think both Livid and I really enjoyed that opportunity, and it was fun. It was fun to take someone through there who was not familiar with that kind of content in Division. Stretch goals is just XP. To level it up, yes, but the rewards are cosmetics and gear based. By the way, folks, thank you all for tuning in right now. We've got nearly 250 people watching on both YouTube and Twitch. Thank you, thank you. I should shout out, though, there is about 6 hours left on the Broken Rain Twitch drops, so if you need any last progress, we have those live on the Twitch side right now. But I'm sure most of you knew that. The game is really like, you're opening too many caches, man. Wicked said, I will say I'm a Destiny 2 player, but since Division 2 launch, I play both consistently. Or constantly. Hopefully it's not been as big of a jump then putting more time into Division recently. If you've been doing that. Meatcore said, Rogue, I would love to see Div 3 go south or west coast. Give us a different visual point. Would also like to see the changing seasons. Yeah, that's fair. Try and get some more variety. We do know the final 3 options for Division 2's location back when they were making that was DC, of course, and then Seattle and New Orleans. So, is there a chance they pick one of those 2 now that they're making 3? It's entirely possible. Do you think you'll do some Broken Rain carries with the chat? I don't know. I'm not very well set up for that. I know some people do that kind of stuff all the time, and I commend it so much. I would need to get a few people to run with who are also very proficient in that stuff who could help me do it. I tend to be a little bit more, I just kind of stay on my own little island and do my things. But I know that people would appreciate that, so I'll look into potentially doing some of that stuff in the future. Ironside, what's up? I'm a former Destiny player who played a little Div 2 in the past, but now that Destiny 2 ended, I've really started getting into Div 2 now. Well, welcome. Yeah, we were just saying it's not going to be a true replacement, but I hope you enjoy your time here, and we're happy to answer any questions that you may have. I missed a highlight question because the chat is going so fast. Wow, that text color is really blending with the background. Lazaire, hope I'm saying that right. Stupid question. There are none such. Don't say so. How do you access legacy caches? Also, is the event pass the stretch goals? How do you access legacy caches? Are you talking about these guys? A legacy season cache? If so, they're just available in kind of different random places. I don't know if I could have the full list off the top of my head to give you, but there's some in the event pass here and some other places. And then the event pass and stretch goals are 2 different things. So the event pass has its own tab here, and that's active until next Tuesday. So you have 1 more week if you want to level through that. Stretch goals are at the end of your regular season pass. So beyond level 100, they're now levels 101 to 110. Both stretch goals and the event pass are progressed by season XP. So if you need progress on both, you can kind of hit a 2-for-1. I hope that helps. All right, we're close. We just need 1,000 more textiles, and then you don't have to hear the sound anymore, chat. How about the Division 3 being the entire United States of America, but it would be released over the course of a year or more with large DLCs adding more cities? Maybe not actually. I mean, it's a lovely idea. In a perfect world, that would be amazing, right? But yeah, that would be an astronomical amount of development time, files, storage space. What's funny to me is obviously I've seen every prediction and comment under the sun, right? Having Division 3 videos out there online. But there are people who have that desire, but they're completely serious. They're like, well, if Division 3 doesn't have, at least 5 US states worth of space, then it's a wash. I'm like, Division 1 and 2 were not even one entire city, my friend. I don't know how you think they're gonna scale that out. to 5 states worth. Because the main thing is just the Division makes their world so detailed. Like, if you wanted to remove all of the personalization and the detail in the Division's worlds, then sure, they could go for much bigger. But that's not really what Massive tends to go for. All right, we're done opening textiles. Thank goodness. Oh, you managed to find them. Good, good. It was the Legacy Apparel caches. I don't have that option. That's a really, I don't know, unfortunately. This is like a really old cache that was there that I've had 4 keys for forever. I can't open it because I have all the items in here. So I think this is just a legacy thing that is just stuck on my UI, really, as far as I'm aware. Postman, I asked a question 100 years ago in the YouTube chat. I'm stuck. Oh boy. Postman's complaining that I'm ignoring him. Here we go again. It's Tuesday. I'm kidding. Let me find it, man. Sorry. Let's see. The apparel tokens or the journey? I assume one of those. I'm doing Journey 6 for the stretch goals, having issues with the Numa objective. Is that the one you're talking about? Livid's in here as well. What's up, Livid? If Division 3 is not the span of the entire world, I send it back. Exactly. Not only that, but with the dev team stating it's starting out to be a monster, they have their hands full already, regardless of where. I'm optimistic for Division 3. We'll put it that way. But big shocker, right? Rogue being optimistic. Who could have guessed? Numa on Journey 6. By the way, Pizux, thank you very much for the Prime sub on Twitch. I appreciate it. Well, looks like I don't have it either. Postman, is this the one you're talking about? Right here? New agent is joining your team. Reach at least 12 stacks and all 3 Numa bonuses before it ends. I couldn't even tell you what Numa does. For 60 seconds. So do you have to... Is it asking you to swap out weapons while Numa's still active? I guess I would probably just like go set your world to normal, go to like a control point, get 3 kills or whatever it takes, and then swap to the other ones. Yeah, that would be my best guess, Postman, but I've not done that one either. So clearly it stumped me back at the beginning of the season. Ratchet coming in with the 5 gifted subs on Twitch. Thank you so much, my friend. Kicking off a hype train as well. If anyone on the Twitch side just got gifted a sub by Ratchet, please help me out. Drop a thank you in the chat. Share the appreciation. You can now enjoy no ads, a cool badge, some emotes, Discord access if you want to join us there. Ratchet, I hope I didn't miss something from you in the chat, but thank you very much for the generosity. That's incredibly kind. Y'all know how to get me to yap. I'm already like out of breath and I'm feeling it 30 minutes in. Postman Clock said, do Viewpoint Museum on story mode difficulty, get headshots within 10 meters of your enemy. A new agent is joining your team. You could try that. Holy people. A new agent is joining your team. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are we kicking off here? Sorry, I had airway issues. Demarsh with the 100 bits said did someone say hype train? Johnny Cake coming in with the tier 1 sub. Thank you, my friend. Demarsh giving out 5. Y'all are crazy. Demarsh, thank you for the bits and the 5 gifteds, man. Once again, anyone in chat who just got gifted one, please drop Demarsh a thank you for all that he does for us around here. Once again, Johnny Cake, thank you for the tier 1, man. That's very kind of you. Akita with the hydrate. I'm going to take that in just a moment because I probably need it. Chris with 100 bits. Choo choo. Leah with 120. Matt Kane with 200. Postman with 5 gifted. Good lord, people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chris, Leah, and Matt again, thank you for the bits, guys. Postman with another 5. Or not another 5, but the 5. Thank you. Indecisive Rock and Tazra with a prime. You all are too much. All right, let me look at who actually got this. Peb Purge, Oreo, Bag of Lime, Delta, and Unbreakable. I know you guys are somewhere out there. Please drop Postman a thank you in the chat if you're around. I would appreciate it greatly. Thank you guys so much for the generosity.
A new agent is joining your team.
Matt Kane with the the tier 1 gift to Leah. Leah, welcome. Welcome to the insanity. Matt, that's very kind of you, dude. Y'all are too much. German, what's up? Said new follower, but I've been watching your YouTube for a while. Love your honesty. Thank you, my guy. That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate that. Well, my goodness, people. Whether you were in the group of 5 gifteds from Postman, Demarsh, or Ratchet, welcome to Rogue Studios, folks. And as I said, you can now enjoy no ads, badges, emotes. Join us over on Discord. ! Discord in the chat. But welcome in. And thank you, everybody who gifted for your generosity. I appreciate it greatly. As always, means the world. Welcome to the insanity is honestly so comforting. Thank you. By the way, if you weren't aware, Twitch is now... yes, thank you, Lazaire, for saying that. I did go and opt out. I saw that there was a big discussion on it over on Twitter. So I did opt out. But it's unfortunate that people were opted in by default. By the way, I saw somebody asking a few times, and I didn't want to forget it. I'm really having... I had the lightest breakfast possible. And my air pipes are not taking it. Cosmic. Hello, Doofy. With the salute in game. Cosmic said if you played with Ortiz as a DPS healer in PvP, just made a build with it, having a lot of fun. I've not tried it in terms of a DPS hybrid build. I know people have done that. I'm going to have to try that out. I have like an actual healer version of it set up. But that sounds pretty fun. I'll have to give it a shot. Demarsh with another 100 bits. Said found these buried on the ocean floor next to the Titanic. How'd these get here? Did you go down in a in like that tin can submarine with a PS2 controller? If you know, you know. Thank you very much, man. Ratchet with the hydrate as well. I'm gonna redeem that now with along with the ketos. All right, my goodness, folks. Bake as well with the prime. Thank you. Getting us to a level 5 hype train. That's insane. Really, everybody. Thank you for the generosity. We got more questions coming in. Arnell, what's up? Glad I got back into this game last month. Your content has helped me out quite a bit, Rogue. I'm so happy to hear it. Thank you for jumping on the stream to say that, Arnell. And I hope you continue enjoying. Feel free to join our Discord server if you ever need advice or want help from anyone, or you can always drop stuff in the comments of videos if you have questions. But we're very happy to have you. I know you got this question a bit, but where's that outfit from? This was from the store. It is the Carrion uniform. But it is yet to rotate back in the store since it was added. So unfortunately, there's no way to currently get it. Gamescom is on YouTube or Twitch. They advertised Twitch. Last year it was on both, so I assume they'll do it on both again, but it's on Ubisoft's page rather than the divisions. Have you ever theory crafted a custom gear set or exotic, and if so, what would it be? I've not really. I don't think I'm great at conceptualizing those things from scratch. I feel like I'm much better at looking at something that's been created and then coming up with ideas for how it could be improved. So honestly, I don't really have like a completely custom one that I've thought of, Simon. If you do, though, I'd love to hear it. Demarsh and Chris, thank you both for another 100 bits. Y'all are too nice. Next to Amelia Earhart's plane. Wreckage of that tin can. Yeah, that whole story was wild. I remember that happening very vividly. When do we get the gold patch for beating Broken Rain Day 1? They said it would be distributed by the 21st, so they've given themselves until the end of this week to do the grants on those. I hope the Steel ACR becomes viable, seeing it new and shiny. I hope so too. I'm really hoping that they can do something with it. I want to run it so badly. Alright, folks. Well, we could be here all day chatting, but we opened our caches. We're now already 45 minutes into the stream. I'm so sorry. Let's crack open some stretch goals, shall we? So we're going to submit all 50. Should I do them one at a time? I think I'm just going to go. And they'll backfill. Survivors can't wait. I know. I'm hoping we get something good. Should I update my Slayer build? And separately, do you like system corruption? I like system corruption. I don't think it... I've never thought that it quite has enough to be what it could be, if that makes sense. But I do like it. Should you update your Slayer build? I don't know. Did you grab the version that I put out for this season? If not, you can type in ! build, and pretty high up on the build playlist there, you'll find your 8 Season 2 PvP builds. And in there I have the newest version that I've made personally of the Slayer. Michael, what's up, good sir? I'm doing very well. How are you, man? All right. How did you have that many levels? Teach me your ways. So stretch goals lets you buy the first 50 levels with textiles. That is a separate currency. But because I've been playing for so long, I have just like an infinite number of apparel caches saved up. So I can just open these, and because I own everything in there, every single item gives me textiles for a duplicate. So I can just farm those up and then buy the levels. That's how I did that. Scorching Gamescom is next week. So we've got the first panel on Wednesday, the 26th, and the second one the day after. Matt Kane with another 100 bits said, can't let the train derail. Thank you, sir. And the hype train completed at level 6. Y'all are very kind for all of the generosity. Thank you so much, as always, for supporting in the ways that you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're now pushing over 350 on Twitch, almost 300 on YouTube. Thank you all again for being here and hanging out. I promise we're going to do more stuff than just sit here and talk and open caches. But we do have to get through that first. I said it was going to be a chill stream, and here I am, out of breath, 45 minutes in. Wouldn't have it any other way, though. All right, let's open another, or claim another round of these. That should take us to 15. We can open all these up. So again, there's a new outfit to be claimed from here, and then just the usual gameplay rewards. We have 2 prestige and a bunch of regular, so let's see what we get. We got a weapon skin. Another weapon skin. I look away for 2 seconds and the chat is like completely flown by. 4 hours here and we never leave the boo. That could be a goal for us to try and reach one day. See how long we can stream just in the boo. RG needs to work on his cardio so we can keep up with chat. Pretty much, man. Maybe I just need to get on a treadmill while we do this so that my body knows to like get into that mode, you know? That was kind of a cool arm patch. I didn't know they had one that would just have the season name. I kind of like that. With a bat into the dark. And then we got these 2. Oh, you can't see them very well on here. All this Div 2 news has me wondering what you all at the last ETF got your hands on. I don't know. I do not know. Well, I know to a degree. I mean, to be fair, I was able to confirm earlier in the year that I did play Survivors when I was at Massive in February. So I hope they give some more news so that I can talk about it a bit more. That would be awesome. All right. Get rid of all that. Got a Lexington. And another. Oh, I like that one even more with the owl. That's kind of cool. Okay, and we got our first outfit piece. I like that one a lot. I'm gonna favorite that. That's kind of cool. Michael, thank you very much for the super chat, dude. Said you do you, sir. Very kind of you as always, my friend. Thank you for everything that you've done to support myself and the channel, man. As you know, it's beyond appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Archon said some vocal warm-ups before the stream might be a benefit. I don't know what would be a benefit to me at this point. But it is a fate that I have accepted being resigned to. It's okay with me. If talking too much is my greatest problem, then I can live with that. Give us clues by telling us when your NDAs end. Probably in like 5 years or something. I think they list them all for like 5 or 10 years at a time. So I don't know if that would actually give you very much indication, sadly. Any news rumors on the Division live action movie or show? Nothing that I've heard, unfortunately. We never got official word that the current project like was scrapped or anything, but yeah, it's been a very long time since we had any news. Applesauce, what's up? Was binging your DZ farming series while playing the DZ. You got Eagle Bear, Agitator, and Ravenous drops. I thank you, sir. You're very welcome. I hope you enjoyed. It is worth noting that I made those videos before they like substantially increased the drop rates on those in there, so it may seem much easier nowadays, but I'm happy for you that you got them nonetheless. I hope you enjoy. Are you going to be in the show? In the Division show? If they ever make one, I would love to. I did... Dang, there's a lot of skins that I was not aware were in here. I did go to school for filmmaking, so if they want me as an extra, I'm down. Does playing the Toxic DZ add to stretch goals? Yeah, I mean, landmarks in the PvE DZ should still reward you with season XP. That's all you need. I need to donate these to expertise, I think. Blue Bin, what's going on? How are you? In a desert of non-recognition. Chris and Postman are just dramatic. That's all it is. That's all it is. I think this is our last 10. Yes, okay. Dang, well, we've gotten like every single arm patch and weapon skin, but we only have one piece from the outfit. I hope we get a few more of those here. Let's see. Okay, we got the boots. We got the pants and the Dodge City. Ah, here we go. Now we're getting it all. I think that's the whole thing. Beautiful. We will put the outfit on to showcase. Raul, what's up? Do you know the best way to get the Hollow Man mask or a more efficient way to farm it? Best way to get the Hollow Man. Really, I would say probably you could either farm in the PvE DZ to try and get the drop, or you could also farm reconstructed caches from Retaliation or the DZ vendor to try and get the blueprint, because you can get DZ blueprints from within those. So like I have the ability to craft it here. I would say maybe PvE Dark Zone and spend the resources you're getting on reconstructed caches. Maybe, unless Chad has a better suggestion. One and only, what's up? What would be the best way to level up expertise? I'm currently level 21. It's a slow grind, that is for sure. The way that I personally used was just to put on, and you may very well have already been doing this to get to 21, but I would put on builds that had no proficiency on them, like on the pieces, and go into countdown, and then target a category which I needed stuff to donate. I'd pick it all up, donate it, and then swap out the gear pieces whenever they got ranked up. That may become less and less effective the closer you get to 30, if you start getting a lot of the categories. But that was the method that I used personally. And then in those last few levels, I just, over time, got the last named items I needed and whatever else. Yeah, so this very much looks like a dust storm. I mean, it's a recolor, right, of one of the dust storm ones. But I do like the color scheme. I think I want it without the giant hood here. Is there a way to do that? I thought the picture showed it without this giant scarf. Okay, there we go. Like, I'd rather run. Even that's pretty cool. I like that. National Bond is great for leveling. Yeah, for shade levels. But as far as expertise, I mean, getting materials or any of that stuff, yeah. All right, well, that's a look at the outfit that you can get from there, if you were curious. I do need to go and do scout number 8, or I just never did it, so that's some easy XP for this. Let's turn on our modifiers. Oh, they're already on. Let's check how many munitions we have before we go out. I will probably grab one of those and we can replenish. Relentless, welcome in. Did I miss any dev info? No, we've just been talking about Gamescom next week and stretch goals beginning and all that. All right, let's go. East Mall have been captured. Does that mean specifically hostage rescue, or can it be public execution? Let's find out.
Detected. Nearby location. Guarded by hostiles.
I hope they got more about survivors to reveal at Gamescom. We know there will be survivors news to some degree. They confirmed that in their little teaser video. We just don't know to what extent. But I would imagine, I mean, it's been a year since they announced it. Last Gamescom was when we got the initial reveal for it. So I would have to imagine that there's going to be a good amount of stuff there for it. I think if there's not, if they come in with just another, like, we're working on it, here's a new concept art photo, I think people would be pretty disappointed by that. And I'm fairly certain that they're aware of that.
A new agent is joining your team.
Lost territory to hostiles. Can that be control point? Prodigy, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub on Twitch, my friend. That's very kind of you. I appreciate you going out of your way to support myself and the channel. He left the boo, time to leave the stream. There's no leaving allowed. I kind of want to... Hang on, did I set up... I need to look at something when we finish this.
Incoming hostiles detected. Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Hello? Where are you? There you are. Alright. You just have to be season pass level 100 to get those items. Correct. Yeah, once you get to season pass 100, then you can start progressing within stretch goals. What I was going to do is instead of just running around and being overpowered with Striker. Oh, I did set up my... So this is the build that I want to try with the Steel and Suns next season once they make the Aces changes. Oh, I need to add mods. But I want to see if what it's feeling like now. Let's do 2 crit chance, 1 crit damage. Because like I said, I will not rest until they buff this item or until I'm told directly we will never buff that item and your efforts are futile. So that's my plan. When do they start? No, you're all good. So stretch goals are live now until the end of the season, and you just have to hit level 100 and then they begin. It's hostage rescue? Okay. Well, that's fine. We can do a control point in the meantime. I forgot I need to be out of cover to get higher accuracy for some reason with this thing. For people asking if the scope works with this thing, it does. I just don't tend to like full auto scopes very much. Although that's not terrible in terms of control. I don't know. I feel like there's a part of me that feels like I'm complaining too much when I say that this thing like really needs a buff, but it just, as an incursion exotic, I feel like it just doesn't have the sauce. It's not bad, and I said that in my video, but I don't know. Like, the damage is not terrible, and this is all going to get increased when Aces gets buffed in a couple weeks for Season 3. Hey, Zero, what's up, man? How you doing? Wonderful to have you. Zero, I don't know who I need to talk to, but I'm pulling every string I can to try and get a buff going for the Steel and Suns. It just needs that extra flavor. But I am really enjoying running it just visually and having a little bit of variety compared to ARs and LMGs. But I hope you're well, Zero. I hope you're getting plenty of rest and relaxation. Just run the bell ringer. I've not been converted to the bell ringer cult quite yet, but maybe it'll happen. Who knows? Oh, we lost our Aces and 8 sound tragically. I had someone, I proposed a rework for this on Twitter yesterday, and I had someone telling me that the idea to focus it around weak points and armor breaks would mean that the talent never gets procced. And I'm like, I don't know. I hit like 3 weak points right there. Weak points are pretty prevalent. Like right there's a weak point. Right there's a weak point. Like that is a pretty common gameplay thing. What's up, Grim? Is this your official breakup with the EB? No, I will never give up the EB. But I think the EB would be happy to have a companion, you know, a partner that is worthy of the same aura and the same cool factor as it, which I think the Steel and Suns could be. It just needs to be a little bit better. Is it true they're putting the new ACR in retaliation next season, even though we just got the incursion? I don't know where you may be getting your information. Like, I don't know if that's true or not. But they've given no indication of that. I don't believe it had a blueprint on the PTS, and they've not said that it's going to be going there. So I'm not sure who may be suggesting or saying that. Doing good. Hope you are as well. Regarding the buff, don't know. We need to talk to Rel. Maybe gang up on him. I did. I shot him a message, so we'll see. Oh, Zero. He's talking about the people really want the timepiece backpack trophy. That's from the Recruit a Friend, but you can only get it if you're a new player, whereas it used to be available to veterans. But I know there's a lot of people out there who want this. Demons, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a fun stream. Do you know when Survivors is being launched? I do not. But we might find out next week at Gamescom. We know we're getting new details on it, so I hope we get a release date in there. Alright, that did count. Alright. What does it say specifically? Just territory? Let's try a territory control here. See if that also counts. I'll pay you in bits. I've plundered from the deep seas of the ocean.
A new agent is joining your team.
Bogner, thank you very much for the prime. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate it. Computa, give me free tickets and flights to Gamescom. It'd be pretty fun. It's always a tough one for me. Like, I would love to go to one of those things, but then I can't make a recap on it, at least, you know, in the same fashion that I would covering it online. So I don't know what people what viewers specifically would value more in that case. Because I don't think you'd be allowed to sit there and, like, stream it from the audience. Maybe I'm wrong.
Access key detected.
Sound bug was horrible today. Unfortunately, it is still present after 2.3 launched, but the team is aware of it. They're looking into it. Hopefully we can continue to get progress on that moving forward. Just record a creepy hotel recap. Hey everyone, I just got back from Gamescom day 1. This is what's going on. No, I mean, the one value of it is, like, if I were to go to one of those things, I would definitely see if I could get, like, any dev interviews or that kind of stuff that obviously you have more opportunity to do if you're there in person. But I'm happy to watch from home on this one. Enjoy the incursion stream, the Cross and Rogue. You really carried them. Livid had the MVP role of tanking through the whole thing. It was great.
A new agent is joining your team.
I'm glad you were able to watch Zero. I hope you... Well, I know you said you enjoyed it. I hope you really did enjoy it. I'm in the bathroom with updates from Gamescom. Yeah, I just have to sneak away. Guy Rhodes, thank you very much for the Prime. Welcome, welcome. Is Division 2 Survivor still slated for this year? The only ever official release information we've gotten from Ubisoft is them stating that it's slated for this fiscal year, which runs until the end of March 2027. That is still the latest we have. But again, hopefully we will find out more next week. I mean, this is not, and again, I said as much in my video, this is not bad. Like, this is a pretty fun build to roll around with, but I don't know. Maybe I'm whining too much. Full auto NEM needs to be fixed. It's all tied to lag switching, so they just need to get better lag switch detection and prevention on board, which I believe they're working on, but I agree, it's a very big issue.
A new agent is joining your team.
Wow, that was an explosion.
Vital signs critical. Agent incapacitated.
Are noobs welcome on the incursion going in blind? As always, it's just going to be tied to whatever group you find, right? If you match into a group I'm in, I'm more than happy to explain stuff, but unfortunately there will always be people you run into who are going to be jerks about it. In general, though, if you want to find groups and communities in the game who will help you through those kinds of activities, they 100% exist. There are some wonderful Discord servers and communities out there. And other resources like that.
Hostile detected.
I don't even... Where are y'all seeing me from? Also, I should probably call this in.
Reinforcements incoming.
Prime actually explained to me the reason I had deaths on my screen was I had the least amount. Oh. Still, that's kind of funny, right? You get to the end of an activity and it's like, here's how many deaths you had. But that is funny. That must have been your most prominent, like, star stat from the breakdown screen. Which makes sense. That, yeah, I think you probably only died when we all wiped for mechanics.
Incoming hostiles detected.
I think of all the rifles I've used, it's the only exotic I personally felt somewhat viable. Still don't think you're complaining too much. Oh yeah, well thank you, Kara. No, I just mean like... I never wanted it to be the case of, like, I've judged something too quickly before I gave it a full shake, but I think pretty much everything I said in there still stands. Like, even if you can get it to be good and have decent damage, it still has its inherent drawbacks compared to other weapon types, and the exotic design part of it doesn't do anything to try and mitigate those shortcomings. Where are they? And again, this is only on heroic. Like, you go into escalation, it works with the right build, but it's not going to be doing nearly as much as Striker AR or Striker LMG.
Detected. Immediate medical assistance needed.
How hard is the new incursion? Not seeing any content about it. Again, it's really just all about knowledge. If you go in knowing how the fights work and having the proper builds for it, it's not too bad to execute. But if you go in completely blind, or you don't have team communication, then it's going to be much, much harder. I think, in general, it's a little bit less mechanically complex than Paradise Lost, but it has way more combat intensity. That was at least kind of my conclusion. Obviously, there are still mechanics, but it's a little bit less complex in that way.
Supply room access unlocked.
All right, that got us to 2. Slow Jin, watching from Rochester, Minnesota, every chance I get. Thanks for all the countless hours of top-notch entertainment. That's very, very kind of you. Slow Jin, thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Rochester, Minnesota. That means a lot for you to say that. Sincerely, thank you. By the way, if I didn't shout it out, I'm so sorry, but Red Terror and Ryujin Tensa, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you very much for the primes.
A new agent is joining your team.
Yeah, drops have about 4 or 5 hours left. 5 hours? 4 hours? One of those. But a couple hours left on drops. Schmitz and Giggles, thank you for the prime as well.
Hostile supply convoy detected.
Alright, one more control point. We can go down here. Fight the outcasts. Help, what's going on? I just reached the end game. Do you have anything that is worth mainly grinding at the start of endgame? Yeah, I typically, as a brand new endgame player, I think the retaliation game mode is one of the most beneficial ones to start out with. Reason being, you can layer up a lot of different progression at the same time. It gives you decent XP, decent season XP, so you can get all of your level ups there while you play. It lets you select your own targeted loot, so you can go after a build that you want right away. And then you will also be getting a lot of different blueprints as you play it, which are really handy to start filling out your crafting bench and all that kind of stuff. Including exotic blueprints, so you can acquire those. So I would say look into playing Retaliation. If you need a guide on that, or general endgame guidance, feel free to type in !guide, and it will link you to my kind of ultimate new and returning player playlist with a few videos that should help you out in that regard. But yeah, I would definitely take a look at Retaliation. At least that would be my recommendation. Speaking of blueprints and exotics, I heard they took away the lullaby. It's still here. I got mine right here. Oh, how did he get that off?
Armor hostile detected.
What is the objective of this game? Oh boy. That's a wide question. Division 2 at its core is a RPG and a looter shooter. So the goal is to shoot a bunch of stuff, play a bunch of content, and level up your character. You get more stats, more abilities. You acquire gear with different stats on it, so you can kind of customize your character and your playstyle to the way you want to play. And then as you hit the end game, some additional stuff unlocks, and you're incentivized to replay other activities for more rewards, and that's kind of the loop. It's very akin to Destiny or Warframe or one of those. Has a little bit of MMO roots as well in terms of raids and multiplayer and all that. I would say that's a fairly good way to summarize it. What build are you using at the moment? I can show you in just a second when we clear this. But it's aces and eights with other rifle bonuses to buff up the Steel and Sons AR. Or AR. ACR. Alright, y'all couldn't all just come out one door. I appreciate the variety, but the running back and forth is really... Oh, I think they found the backup squad. Punctuation for the win. Matt, that's a great line right there. Or Midnight said punctuation, but that's quite funny. All right, we got that done. Here is the build for those wondering. Here, I can put it in this view. So we have Ninja Bike backpack, 4 pieces of aces and eights with that Ninja Bike bonus, so that we are getting the 4-piece bonus using the chest piece. This set is going to get buffed like crazy in a few weeks when Season 3 goes live. They're proposing raising the 2-piece to 30% damage. It's going to get 30 weapon handling on the 3. And by using the chest piece, you'll now get 100% amp damage instead of 50. So that's all going to get buffed up by a lot. And then we have the Eagle's Grasp to get 2-piece of SP Zoo. That's also going to be buffed. It's going to be 24% rifle damage. And then the Fox's Prayer for just rifle brand bonuses. And then the Steel and Sons ACR from the new incursion. That's the loadout. What do we have left? Civilians need help getting back on their feet. Is that just more activities? Let's find out. Do Marsha the Hydrate? I will do it right now. Thank you, sir. Only Alex, what's up? I'm just getting into build crafting. I go to Good Strikers, of course, wondering if there are any Seeker Mine builds that aren't healing. I want to run around with something like that for fun. 100%. Yeah, there's a ton of different skill build options. One of my favorite ones with Seeker Mines in the damage realm is the Hardwired gear set. I don't think I have any pieces on me. But Hardwired deals with giving you skill damage bonus, and it lets you reset your skill cooldowns really quickly. So you can run it with like the cluster Seeker Mines and just basically constantly toss them out and just cover the field with explosions. So the short answer is yes. And if you want one potential build idea, I would look into a hardwired build. Dumb and Loco Music, hello. Just recently picked up this game back up, and it's actually crazy how much there is to do now. Always just throw on any good gear piece when I acquired it, but the fact that I now have to learn gear sets that amplify my overall weapon damage is crazy. Yeah, there's definitely a lot to learn with the build crafting, but at least for me, there's a lot of satisfaction once I do dial in that knowledge and kind of come up with something that I enjoy. So I hope you can find a similar satisfaction. But welcome back. We're happy to have you. Come on now.
Incoming hostiles detected.
I mean, even if they don't buff the Steel and Suns at all, knowing that this build is going to get way more powerful in a few weeks is very, I don't know what the word is, very inspiring. Like, this combo itself is going to be way stronger in just a few weeks' time. And if I can get a Steel and Suns with Detox, I think I can make this good, even if they don't buff the weapon. Virgil, I assume you are sending that in my direction. If so, you're more than welcome. And I hope you have a wonderful day as well. Let's see, did that count? No. Can someone spoil for me what Objective 3 of Scout 8 is? Schmidt, no worries. It is my skill. Oh, which I'm missing a mod for. Glad I caught that. It's the Banshee Pulse, and then I have a skin on it. So without this, it looks a little bit more normal. But I have like an electricity skin applied to it. But you can only use this if you're wearing the gunner specialization. It's tied to that spec. Oh, just friendly activities? I gotcha. I gotcha. Let's go do target practice. What's that new gun? You got the exotic. This is from the new Broken Rain Incursion that released last week. It's called the Steel and Suns. And it has a really cool design, a really cool look. A lot of us want the talent to be a little bit stronger. But if you want to make it work, it can work. There are ways to still make it strong. And it's got good mods and all that. But yeah, this is from the new Incursion. If you need a guide on how to complete that, it is over on the YouTube channel. We've got a full Broken Rain guide. Alex, if you're still in the chat from a minute ago, Neuronix just dropped a great hardwired build example. Neuronix, I appreciate you writing that out in there. Not Lucas, my friend, thank you as always for being here, for helping out with the community and the chat. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday and week, my friend.
Friendly combatants nearby.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to see any of these targets. Where is the fourth one? I could hardly see that. I can't see under that spotlight. There it is. No, there's one more? Dude. Am I allowed to leave here? There it is. How was I going to see that? Okay, I can leave that spot. That's good to know. Oh, no, it gave me no time because I went up top, or went up front. That's tragic. Zero, take care, man. I hope you have a good one. Hopefully chat soon. Can I try it again? Okay, now I know that there's one straight over there. Wow, terrible aim to begin with. Don't worry about that. If I just randomly shoot over here. I see it. Please! This is not going to work. Okay. Well, let's go for the supply drop instead. And we'll find we'll find something else afterwards. Can you tell me what the audio deconstruct skill mods option is? Yeah, so what it does, Rafa, is if you have it on, then whenever you pick up a skill mod, let's say I were to get a sticky bomb mod in this slot, that's like 6.5 duration. Because I already have one that is higher value than that, it would automatically deconstruct it and give me the materials. Because you, in theory, have no use for duplicate mods since there's only one slot to put them in. So it will just automatically get rid of lower value mods that you pick up of stuff you already own.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Incoming hostiles detected. Supply drop claimed.
King Spiker, any gear changes that they're doing are going to be retroactive. So you won't need to refarm anything in the new update, just whatever pieces you have of aces, a breaking point of true patriot, of anything, it will just automatically be updated to the new values, whatever they decide on after the PTS. No worries about having to refarm.
A new agent is joining your team.
Slewski, thank you very much for the prime.
Supply drop.
Welcome in. What's your go-to striker build for tier 10 escalation? I can show you in just a moment.
Supply drop.
Let's reclaim that. It is... Whoops. It is this bad boy right here. Actually, let me get the contrast better. So 4 striker with the chest piece and backpack. Hollow Man mask, just because you run into so many reds and other health enemies that have such high, health values. And then 1 piece of Cheska with... Oh, and then a MK46 with Frenzy. And then 6 Echo across there and 1 Amalgam. And that's the build. Insights, what's up? Any tips on getting into this game? I've tried it on and off. Feels more complex than Destiny. I think ironically enough, I think you would probably hear a lot of Division players say, trying to get into Destiny, they would say that that's equally as complex. I think it's just anytime you try and get into a new build in this, or a new game in this genre, you're going to be met with a lot of initial confusion and a steep learning curve. I would say if it's of interest to you, community is always a fantastic resource. We have a Discord server. If you type in !Discord with a ton of people who are happy to answer really any questions you have. I've also put together a new and returning player playlist that just has a few selected curated videos that are meant to kind of guide you through that process as best I can, or with the videos that I have on there. So you can type in !guide and get that, the link for that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's just about trying to learn one system at a time, one piece of content at a time. I don't know if there's one specific, like, piece of advice I could give you beyond those. That hostage rescue disappeared, which was rude. Maybe if we go and do something else, it'll reappear. What do I want to do? We could do a quick retaliation just for fun. Actually, let's farm True Patriot. So I'm going to want a build of that for next season. Not a problem, Insights. And anytime you have questions, feel free to come by the stream or the video comments or whatever. Be happy to try and fill you in. What's going on, PJ? As a Destiny player as well, Division, once you get started in Div, you'll find it's not hard to understand after a bit of playtime. Well, there you go. Expert testimony from PJ. I appreciate you sharing that, PJ. And I think that's, you know, almost the case with anything in life. It will take you a little bit to really figure something out and learn it, and then things seem much less daunting. Kidney, hello. I've not played it in literally years. Back when St. Elmo's was meta in the Dark Zone. Are yellow buddy builds still meta for control zones? Yellow buddy builds for control zones. I'm trying to decipher the lingo. Are you talking about control points like what I'm doing right now? And is a yellow buddy build a skill build like with Seeker Mines or something? That's what I'm picking up on, but feel free to tell me if that's not what you mean.
Reinforcements incoming.
Hermes, what's good, man? Nice to see ya. Hope you're doing well. What weapon am I using? This is the Steel and Sons exotic ACR from the new Broken Rain incursion. Just trying to get more familiar with it. I want to use it quite a bit, regardless of if they make any changes to it, so. Just getting used to its handling and all that. Do you know what items can drop in the stretch goals caches? There's a wide variety of stuff. There's nothing too crazy. I mean, so there's a new outfit that I'm wearing right now that you can get out of there. There's some arm patches and weapon skins, but as far as gameplay items, it's pretty standard. Lexington, Turmoil, that kind of stuff. Eagle Bearer, Ravenous.
Serious trauma detected.
But there's no none of the like brand new exotics in there, like the underboss or this one. You can get like the Caduceus from this season. There is a full list though on the Division 2's website. I'm not sure if the exclamation point patch notes command that I set up still links to that one. I think it's no, it might link to the PTS instead. I can't remember. But on the Division 2's website, okay, yeah, it's the wrong one. It's the wrong one. But on the Division 2's website, there is an article that shows you the full loot table breakdown.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Yeah, so you can get the nurse's knee pads if you're like me and accidentally deleted them. No! Well, I hope you're able to get another copy. What? Voigt? I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize. Oh no! No, 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 no. My hive's on cooldown. I didn't realize. Did I already take too much damage? I hope not. Please don't kill me. Oh! I'm glad I realized that in time. Oh. Oh, yeah, I hadn't got the thing from the scout. That's right. Wait, it was any zone? Why was I in East Mall? Oh, these two were in East Mall. This was any? Okay, well, that's weird. That would have been good to know. How'd you take the hood off? I just took off the mask. I think the mask activates it. By the way, did y'all know you could take the visor off of this one? With the show mask or don't show mask option. It's kind of nice. But yeah, I think the breathless mask automatically puts the... Oh, that's not it. Yeah, these ones automatically put the hood up. All right. I want True Patriot pieces with crit or with skill stuff. I saw a pretty good suggestion on Reddit of that with the changes you could run like a pretty cool support build if you did smart cover with True Patriot. So I might try and get like True Patriot skill haste pieces to roll to skill core. That could be interesting. See anything drop out here? Yeah. Zyke, what's going on, man? Getting all division updates and news from URG. Been away from the game for 3 months now. Eagerly waiting the holiday season to catch up on everything. Tons of new stuff added that I missed. Well, it's good to see. I hope all is well. And yeah, I mean, you're gonna have a lot of stuff to catch up on at the holiday point. A few seasons worth of additions. The incursion. We'll see if by that point we have Central Park, hopefully. But thanks for being here, man. Headshot damage I don't need. Any word on when we will get reconfig blueprints for the new exotics. Unfortunately, no, I haven't. They've not commented on those, so I don't know.
Friendly control point nearby.
The new ACR and Rogue are gonna have a toxic relationship, even though it's not good trying to make it work. I don't think it's bad. I said that in my video, and I hold that opinion now. I don't think it's bad, and if I'm trying to play like super seriously, I would not have this on. But like, that's not terrible damage for an Aces build, considering this is gonna get buffed up in however many weeks when Season 3 drops. So, I don't know. It'll be a fun weapon for me. Like, if they never buff it, it'll be a fun weapon. If they buff it, then maybe we're talking.
Vital signs critical.
Full armor. That's tough.
Squad down.
Come on, give me something. New classified missions as well. Also hearing some chatter about a new raid through some Asian developers of the Chinese version. Any truth to that? No, I mean there's been no announcements of a new raid for year 8. I think the last I heard on the Chinese version was that it seemed like they were getting ready to stop developing it. But I don't believe there's been any confirmation on like what they're working on next. So nothing that I've heard. What do you think they will add the new incursion, exotics, and retaliation into rotation? I'm afraid I don't know. We were just talking about that. I hope there is some kind of plan to do so soon, but I really don't know. You would think maybe at the start of the new season, but they weren't there on the
A new agent is joining
PTS
the
as far as I'm aware. So I'm not sure. Matt Kane with the 200 bits to Marsh with the 100. Said gotta go pick up some stranded coworkers. I'll circle back if I can. Well, I'm sure you probably had a bounce already, man, but I hope everything goes well with that. Thank you for the bits. And DeMarsh said you left those behind. Toss a bag of bits. Thank you as always, man. Pax, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Come on up here. Are they going to buff Heartbreaker and Hunter's Fury?
En route. Detecting a
Not as of Season 3 that we've seen so far. Those two were not included in the Season 3 buffs. Oh, got two exposed out there. Did someone just say new raid in Div 2? Nothing confirmed. Apparently, Zyke has heard a rumor about that for something, but that is not anything confirmed or that I've personally heard. The script I told you about the other day, I'm nearly done with it. Think you'd have time to look it over sometime after your stream. Certainly if you send it to me, I don't know about exactly what time, but I should be able to give it a look at some point today, yeah. I'd love to. I would love to. I'm just gonna go all the way until, what is it called? Invincible takes me out. Oh, I lived? That's surprising. Peek up. There we go. Nice. What's the outfit? It is the new one that they just dropped today in stretch goals. So you can get it out of those caches. Did you try out True Patriot? If so, what are your thoughts? On the PTS, yes, I did. It's certainly better than it was. I still don't know if it's going to be like absolute completely meta. I don't know if that's their objective with it. Honestly, the healing factor was one of the most surprising things to me. Like, that was really noticeable and strong. I could see the amp damage maybe going a little bit higher. But overall, it's absolutely going to be in a much better place than it is currently. Taynar, what's going on? Sorry, I'm trying to scroll back and see what I missed up here. Quick question, Rogue. If Division were to do any crossover event, what franchise would you want to see? I'm really boring with that answer. Oh, we got a good backpack. I don't personally really care that much for crossovers. I would rather Division stay in its own world and universe and whatnot. So my answer would be none. But at the same time, I'm not upset when they do end up doing them. Like, I don't care that much about it, but I don't really care too much for crossovers and whatnot.
You secured the area. Thank you, Agent.
Can you show off the outfit? Sure. There you go. Good opportunity for me to get some water. Rogue hates crossovers, but he can't wait for the inflatable dino. Fake news. I don't want the dino. And I wouldn't say I hate them. They're just not, I just don't care about them, you know? But no, the dino, if they bring the dino and they don't give us like a realism vanity toggle, that's going to be a problem. Stevana, what's up? My vault is full of things I haven't used in years. Just getting back on Div 2 after the death of Destiny. Any tips on what to hold on to and what to delete? Thank you. Oh, man. Well, the one thing to keep in mind is that they have not done like a level or power change since you stopped playing, I would assume. They haven't done one since March of 2020. So technically, everything in there should still be relevant. In terms of if you wanted to put it together and run it. So I would say it would probably serve you best just to glance at what's in there. If something sounds appealing and interesting, then I would hold on to it because you will still be able to put it into a build. And if it doesn't, just scrap it. You can refarm stuff really easily these days with content like Retaliation and Countdown with selectable target loot. But I would say hold on to something that sounds interesting. Get rid of it if it sounds confusing or it doesn't, and you'll be able to get it back. Except for exotics. I would hold on to one of every exotic. Just so you have those. Alright, what else do we want to do here? I could probably hit some priority objectives. Oh, and I haven't done... Hang on. I haven't done any of these. Okay. We can do Summit, Legendary Title Basin, Conflict Matches. We got almost another 10 to claim. DZ South activity. Maybe I'll just run around and do some prio objectives real quick. What weapon is he using? I've got the... Whoops. Put me into another server. I've got the Steel and Sons Exotic ACR from the new Incursion.
Access granted.
Is it right here? 300 people in your Rogue. Thank you all very much for hanging out. We do indeed. We got over 300 people watching on both sites, which is very kind of y'all. Thanks so much for giving me the time. DeMarsh is taking off. Chris is on one today. Take care, DeMarsh. Thank you as always for the generosity and everything. Have a good one. So is the weekly PvP to do. Great time to show off those killer PvP builds. I have been wanting to... I still am trying to, like, lock down a good conflict build after they did the gear and brand set changes recently. Somebody just came out right above me. I was trying to go for the one normal difficulty landmark here.
Hostile hive detected.
Joe, how's it going, man? Been a long time. Hope everything's good. Everything is good indeed. Cannot complain. How are you doing, man? I'm switching this before one of you does what I know you're waiting to do. Got that done.
Landmark cleared.
Off to DZ East. Donkeys that I've been saving. Been good getting back into looter shooters again. Thinking about hopping on Div 2. Haven't played in a hot minute. Well, they've been adding a good bit of stuff. We had a new incursion drop last week. We got a new season coming up pretty soon. We should have a DLC on the horizon. There's they're working on survivors, so there's a lot of stuff.
Hostile hive detected.
Donnie, what's going on? Welcome, welcome.
Leaving hot zone.
Other day I was in the PvE DZ, got an Eagle Bearer. Didn't need it, but I got one.
Available.
Well, that's the thing, yeah, now you have it for future use if you ever did want to run it.
Has expired. Entering invaded dark zone. Black Tusk is leaving the area.
Crossplay Copium.
Uplink restored.
I mean, we're going to hear about it a week from tomorrow. I do think it's funny that people still say, like, yeah, they're not adding crossplay. They're just going to string people along with it. Do you know how mad people would be if they waited for crossplay for months just for them to say, yeah, never mind, we're not doing it? Like, that would be pretty disastrous. It's coming.
Contaminated gear.
Like, oh, never mind. We're just kidding. We were just joking, guys, right? It was a joke. Funny joke.
Detecting additional hostile
When is crossplay happening? All we know all we know currently is that it is coming at some point this year of content. So between now and like March, roughly. But they've confirmed that we are getting an update next week at Gamescom on Wednesday. So hopefully that'll give us a more definitive window to look forward to. I hear more people talk about crossplay than D3 or Central Park. 100%. No, ever since it was announced, that is the top comments I get of people asking, like, what's the update on X, Y, or Z? It's crossplay. That is the #1 thing that I get asked about. So I'm very curious to see what the impact is once that drops.
gear. Incoming hostiles detected.
Yeah, Postman's thing if everyone kept asking, so we canceled it.
Contaminated gear.
Sorry, you asked too much. We had to stop.
Detecting contaminated gear.
Oh, that might kill me. That might kill me. Oh, no.
Immediate medical assistance.
Please. I have so much to live for. I have crossplay to live for.
Contaminated gear detected. Now detecting contaminated gear. Contaminated gear detected.
There we go.
Landmark has been cleared.
My son DJ played with you for like a month ago. Death Monster told him to send you a shout out. Shout out to him, Donnie. I feel like I remember running into him in whatever content that was. But very fun stuff. I hope it doesn't break our stash.
Agent, priority objective.
I have a character on Xbox and PC. When they do crossplay, it might break stashes. Well, crossplay just means that you will now have the ability to play with people from other platforms. But if you have a character on Xbox, then you're still locked to playing on Xbox. So it shouldn't, in theory, it shouldn't touch anything with stashes. All right, Kazin, redeem to go rogue.
Initiated.
Kidney, this one is specifically just for DZ. It's tailored for that. If I were to run the Eagle Bear in PvE, I would just run Striker.
Now detecting contaminated gear. Rogue status removed.
Okay, what's our next prio? A mission in Brooklyn for nearly 2,000. I like how a mission in Brooklyn gives you more than a stronghold in DC just because of how long they are. If this was H5 Refinery, I'd love to play through that. I don't really want to do Art Museum, though. I also don't really want to do those things. We can do this. West End.
Exiting dog zone.
Is there an updated Slayer build? I made one for this at the beginning of this season, but I don't know if you mean more updated than that. If so, no. But if you type in !build, you can check the PvP builds video from Year 8 Season 2, and it's in there. Do you have a PvE build for the Ravenous? Do you prioritize armor or DPS? I have a PvE build that I use the Ravenous on, just protection from elites. This one is actually set up for the new season when they do the brand changes. But it's just to get extra armor. It's not really to utilize the Ravenous a ton. If I were going to run it, I'd probably run it on Breaking Point, and that'll be much better once the new season goes live and they buff that set and a bunch of the other ones. Maybe I'll run this fit. What setting changes the gear color like that? I have a colorblind setting on, not because I am colorblind, but because it adds a radius, a visible radius to your skills. So under accessibility, I have mine set to Tritonopia. Mead core with the hydrate. I shall do it now. Thank you. To be fair, how do you know you're not colorblind? It's a good point. How do any of us know that we're not colorblind at the end of the day? I didn't save my mods. 1-2 crit chance, 1 damage. There we go. Gotta go through the settings video uploaded, make some changes. Yeah, most of them are in there. I think I show the colorblind one off, just so that people know. Like, it adds this kind of radius. You can see the white lines around skills, which can be helpful in various cases. I was trying to hit those 2 convoys at once just for maximum chaos. I think we accomplished our goal.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Oh. I'd love if we get the lines without the color shift. 100%. What's up, Harlan? Yeah, they should make it its own independent setting. I'm not entirely sure why they haven't.
Hostile control point nearby.
Another PvP one. We have a reroll. Here we go. This will be a retaliation. The True Sons. I don't think that's what I have, sadly. But let's go to the hyena one. Because I do want to try and get more True Patriot. So let's go do that. We'll hit that and an Outcast and True Sons. Would it be nice if we could change our reticle color? 100%.
Secure those control points, Agent. Quickly.
Night Sentinel, what's up? It is going wonderfully. Cannot complain. How are you? Kazin, take care, my friend. Hope you have a good rest of your Tuesday and week. See you back next week for sure. The big news week. Can't miss it. See you soon, man. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Throw that. Just trying to make sure nobody hopped on the minigun. Ah, somebody still got on the minigun.
Reinforcements incoming.
Nothing much. Finally tuning in after the Meet the Teacher Day at my daughter's school. I figured I should meet the person that'll be calling me once a week. That's valid. Well, happy to have you here, man. Hopefully this is a little bit less stressful than that, maybe.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
I see a bunch of questions in the chat. Let me address those as soon as we clear out these reinforcement waves. Oh, why are they behind me? Wasn't ready for that. And they're on the minigun. Yeah, if you get them behind you at all in this one, you're kind of screwed. Oh, this is bad. There we go. All right, we recovered. First, Romeo, please tell me which one is correct. Just getting back into the game, enjoying the stream. Thank you. How do retaliations work? So basically, when you're out in the open world, or even if you're playing like mission content or whatever, there's a retaliations tab up here. I can't show you the normal view because we're actively in one, but it will show you a bar for every faction in that map. And you fill that up by completing certain activities for a faction or just killing members of that faction. And when it fills up, you then have, then that faction will invade a specific zone within the world. So right now the hyenas have invaded West Potomac Park. And it just means that they occupy every control point in that zone. And you have a certain amount of time. You can see below the radar, I've got 9.5 minutes right now. You have a time limit to go and try and retake those. That timer will increase if you complete a control point. If you die, it will take a certain amount off. And that's the basic gist of it. And you can, when you're in a retaliation, you can select your own target loot. You get a bunch of rewards, good amount of XP. You can get some exclusive blueprints. So there's a good amount of reasons to do them. Romeo, perfect. Hopefully that gives you an overall recommendation. Oh, gee, sorry, let me get to you right now. I need a drink of water. My voice almost gave out there. Said hello, coming from the video with Cross, looking for a new home. Any tips on new player LFG? Well, welcome. I appreciate you coming over from that. I know it's daunting to join up to a new game. It looks like people pulled up both the build and guide commands. So indeed, I would recommend checking out the guide one specifically. That's a curated playlist of videos that I put out there that are aimed to help new and returning players get acclimated with things in the game. So I checked that out. As far as LFG, you're welcome to join our Discord server. If you type in !Discord, it'll give you an invite link there. And we got a bunch of people in there who are more than happy to answer questions if you have them when trying to figure out the game. Or we do, of course, have LFG channels and all that kind of stuff. So I would say those two resources can help out a lot.
Detected.
But if you have any other specific questions on stuff, more than happy to try and answer them here. Happy to have you. I know it won't be a true replacement for Destiny because the two games are
Hostile kill squad
ultimately
nearby. Stay alert.
very different, but hope you're able to find some fun. Dang, how much armor do these guys have? That's crazy. But yeah, I'm glad that anyone who checked out the cross stream on his side has interest in checking out Division. We'd love to have as many of you as possible. Of course, again, the game is not going to click with everybody. They are very different games at their core, despite both being looter shooters and having the similarities that they do. But I think there's definitely space out there for a lot of people. Oh my goodness.
Detected.
Did not realize they still had a sniper. Where was that person? Oh, through the bus. That's a crazy shot that they hit on me then. Yeah, I haven't gotten the kill squad defeated thing yet. There you are. Well, how am I supposed to go get you if you're way outside the zone boundary? Look at how far they're running. I'm not even going to be able to get that loot.
Kill squad
There we go.
eliminated.
Still no skill haste rolls. That's what I'm kind of hoping to get here. Been farming Countdown for proficiency as a new player. Is it the best way to go? That's my recommendation personally. Put on a build with items that don't have, you know, proficiency on them. So you're getting the passive gain. Play Countdown. target something you do need a lot in, donate, rinse and repeat. I think that's a good way to go. G-Boy, thank you for the hydrate. Let me do that before I get ambushed again. Rogue, what's going on in your Div 2 character's tombstone? Probably just simply Eagle Bearer Lover. That'd be good with me. That would be good with me. Out. Yeah, just RogueGold. Actually, yeah, RogueGold out would be another pretty good one. That would be a pretty good one. I feel like, spoilers for Hunted, I feel like Rogue Agent Gold should have said that as he like dove behind that bar, bleeding out. That would have been hilarious.
Hostile control point identified.
Got the Eagle Bear and the Ravenous in the span of 3 days in the DZ. Happy I finally got these exotics. Nice, Ghost. I hope you enjoy them. Yeah, they've certainly widened the availability of some of those things in more recent times, so enjoy, enjoy. That's not good. That's not good.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Don't let them heal! He's coming right at me!
Can I get up top, please? Thank you. Yeah, I don't know, like this kind of content, I'm perfectly content using the Steel and Suns, but if I were going to take it anywhere higher difficulty than this, I don't think it's going to be doing what it needs to do without some kind of buff. Vigilance, this is the Steel and Suns exotic ACR from the new incursion.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Heavily armored hostile detected. Heavily armored hostile detected.
They're reviving people. I hear a sniper. They're sending in bombs. It's not good. Oh, we're out of ammo. That is the one thing with the rifles that I've seen a lot of people bring up, is that also in extended gunfights, they just don't They don't have enough capacity. I think rifle, I mean, this is not a new or revelatory take. I think a lot of people agree that rifles themselves just need a base buff, like better ammo capacity, better second attribute, like that crit damage needs to be way higher. So hopefully those are things the devs may consider down the line. Beyond just the Steel and Suns. Out again. I think there's a restock down here. So I need to go back top. Harry, what's going on, my friend? I'm doing well. Chat, I apologize if I'm missing out on questions or other things. I'm trying to not die. But I'll get to it in just a moment. How did I not get that guy at all? There we go. He just walked right into my line of fire. There we go. Alright, I can't dilly-dally quite as long. I don't have a ton of time. Don't need that. I saw somebody asked... Good question. Fruit said, I reckon a video of a new character going through expertise and proficiency. How you'd go about it, showing progression, what do you think is more important to do? Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've done fairly close to that on just this character. I mean, just showing, like, what I would do. But I agree, like, there could be value in doing, like, a short series of, like, taking a new character from zero to hero, if you will. Doing all the grinds and all that. I'll keep it in mind. Skill damage, give me skill haste. Please. Please, oh please. So far, our only... Out of these two retaliations, we've gotten a backpack with crit chance and crit damage, and that's it. What are your thoughts on the ACR? I did a full video on it on the channel if you want like a more in-depth breakdown. But essentially, I really like the design. I think it has a lot of potential. Well, those are two separate things. I like the design, comma. I think it has a lot of potential. But if they want it to have viability in anything higher than heroic, then it needs a buff. It has some weird handling quirks that I think could be mostly smoothened out if they just buffed its Underbarrel mod, which already gives weapon handling. Just give that a higher amount, and then I think its talent just needs more power, more oomph. We're gonna pop that. We're gonna run up here. This might be a bad idea. In the long run, let's find out. Just want to see if I can take this guy out before Invincible's over. I'm getting staggered everywhere. And then once our hive gets us up, we should be able to get the rest.
Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent out of action.
Yeah, come back down here. There we go. Is that all of them? I think so. So yeah.
Kill squad eliminated.
There we go. Crit chance holster, finally. What feature would you love to be in Div 3 that's not already in Div 2? Give me controversial takes. That's not already in Div 2. I don't know if I have anything controversial. I feel like the majority of what I would say, a lot of people would think would at least be decent additions. I would love some kind of in-game gear database and build helper. Division Resurgence has a form of this where there's a certain help menu in the game that like shows recommended builds for your playstyle and specialization. and it gives you like small little rewards if you go out and farm and equip those builds. But I think that alone would be great as an in-game resource, but also they could take it even further and have people like upload their own builds to like a database, and people could like upvote those so that hopefully the popular and actually like good ones raise to the top of the list for people to see and get inspiration from. But I feel like limiting the gap between build knowledge in game versus where people normally have to seek that information online would be a beneficial thing that they could do, in my opinion. I don't know where they are. Div 3 needs cross save and play as a standard. It will. I mean, that's not confirmed, we don't know, but I would bet a very large amount of money that it will. Pretty much all Ubisoft games as of a few years ago already had that as a standard. I think it was confirmed that Heartland was going to have that before it got canceled, so it will. The only reason Division 2 does not is because it was made at a time before, like just before that was completely a standard. And now it's a lot harder to go back and add it retroactively. Oh my goodness.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
A stash, that's a tongue twister. Stash search option. Yeah, for like just seeing if you have specific pieces of gear in there. Or just a better, yeah, sorting deal, a filter. I agree, that'd be nice. Out of ammo again. I wish there was in-game build crafting and trials for the firing range. Try before you grind. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I would mostly be okay with that. There is a part of me, and it's not very like player friendly, so I admit that off the bat. But I do feel like there is a degree of, you know, part of the grind to get a really rare and cool piece is that you get to hold it in your hands. You get to shoot it and see how it feels. It would completely be, like I said, more player friendly if they let you trial run stuff. But I would miss that aspect of like, oh, I finally got this gun. Now I'm holding it and shooting it for the first time. But I don't know. We need a vote to change group leader option. Now we're talking like small fry stuff. We're talking Division 3, like headline. What changes are you wanting to see, or what features that Div 2 doesn't have? I agree, though. There needs to be better group management things across the board. It can be a little weird sometimes. I'm getting every yellow stat except for skill aced. Better anti-cheat? Well, obviously, yes. That would... Ideally, we'd get that in Div 2. We'll see. Bet it. No yellow raincoats in Div 3. Feature... Sword and range. Oh, 100% having a, companion app or an API would be wonderful. I concur. Skill damage again, man. Is brutal. Group finder. Yeah, that'd be nice.
The civilians are safe for now.
In-game events that let your character become part of the actual lore. In what? Oh, we did get a skill aced. Oh, with a maxed out roll. That's nice. That's nice. What kind of... Do you have an example, Midnight, of like what you would see that being? That sounds cool. I'm just trying to like picture what that would actually look like. The obvious correct answer is the dino costume. Sure. Shared lobbies. When doing street activities, anyone could join in and help. Has prox chat similar to our creators. 100%. That's mostly, aside from the prox chat, how Division Resurgence has done it. And I fully agree. I would love to see that, plus like activities in the open world that require, you know, large numbers of people to take on, to tackle. Whether that be in the form of world bosses or some kind of other large-scale team objectives. That's one of my top hopes for sure. When making a sandwich, what's the best bread and why is it sourdough? I agree with you that it's sourdough. You don't have to convince me. But that does make me hungry. Shocker. But first, I want to do the pry objective to do a True Sons retal, which means we need to do... I don't know if it'd be better to do a bounty. I guess we can do a bounty. That was a cool thing I didn't even know Resurgence had. Surprised when I saw random players in the open world. Yeah. Unfortunately, in that game, at least from my experience, I've not played it in a while, but there's just no need for it. Like, none of the content... Like, all the content's already fairly easy out in the open world, so it's cool. But it would be very nice if they had either world difficulty scaling or just again a reason for that many people. That'd be great. Can you imagine a big giant tank on the street requires 6 people to destroy it? That'd be great. Yeah. That's the dream. I mean, that's... You know, I've made plenty of Division 3 speculation or wish list videos, and having a more shared open world like that is absolutely one of my biggest dreams for it. I think that could be really cool. It's worth... It's worth acknowledging, though, that obviously not everyone would want that, and I think you all should also account for people who either would want their world solo or wouldn't have internet. Like, you would need some kind of alternative thing for them. But yeah, at least having that to some degree, I think would be really cool. And it would, what's the word? It would, it would something. I don't think constitute is the right word, but it would make having a sequel feel worth it. You know, some games you slap a 2 on the box, but it's not all that different from the original. It's not that innovative. But I think that is like the actual, that kind of stuff would be the actual technological leaps that would warrant the Division 3's existence. Because that's the kind of stuff that they're just not going to pull off in Div 2. I guess a better way to say it is I don't want Division 3 if it's just Division 2 in a new city. You know, you could have done that in Div 2. If you're going to make a Div 3, which I think they should, but that also means that it has to be worthy of the name in terms of pushing the ideas of the franchise forward. Still true to what we all love about Division, of course, but doing what a technological leap allows you to do.
Target down. Good job. Target spotted. You got the target. Nice.
A full prequel would be cool. Pre-outbreak training is the campaign, and then first wave is the end game. I've seen that idea before, Matt, and I fully agree it would make for an amazing campaign experience. I just struggle to see how they would make the end game work, given that that period of time was only like, what, 2 to 3 weeks or something? I mean, I guess I could just do a time skip after that, but I don't know. Unless they want to go back, like if they've set it in an entirely different city. But I also think that part of people's appeal with the idea of playing the first wave stuff would be that it's in New York. And in that case, we've already played a month and a half after that. So I just think they would have a hard time structuring it in the live service context. If they ever go out and make a Division single player campaign or game, I think that would be an awesome setting and story pitch, 100%.
Target neutralized. Good work.
Find a better position.
That's another one down. Good job, Agent.
Alright, how close did that get us? Almost all the way. We can do that right there. I'm not in combat. Come on. Come on. There we go. They data mine the PTS on Reddit. Is there a new post? That's talk about something that I hope the team can get a handle on, is the whole data mining deal. It's unfortunate how much surprise that we've lost and stuff, you know? I'm not seeing anything immediate. Maybe you were saying it was a little while ago. I still think your idea of having a cult-like enemy in Div 3, or cult-like enemy faction in Div 3 is cool, Rogue. Thank you, Sith. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, after a while, they're going to have to get creative on how to make stuff that's not repetitive from from what's been there before, you know? So I was just trying to think of things that were slightly, or different enough, I should say, from the factions that we've already had. People are going to be pissed if we get another level increase. I don't see them doing that. If that's what the thing is suggesting, I'm gonna guess that's fake, but what do I know? I don't see how they could go from the prototype release earlier in the year, see the feedback on that, and say, all right, we need level 50. I just don't. That doesn't seem logical to me. Everybody was well, not everybody, but there was a lot of people who thought that level 50 would come with Brooklyn, so I have a feeling they're going to stick fairly close to the scope of what Brooklyn was, since that worked out well for them. No reason to reinvent the wheel.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put something like that in the PTS files just to throw off data miners. Could be, honestly, yeah.
Serious trauma detected.
Somebody asked. Where did it go? Hang on. As always, folks, if I miss your question, it's not intentional. Feel free to resend. There's a lot of things coming in. Oh, Sandman said, does your aces and eights roll full damage and crit damage? Yes. So I've got 6 red cores, including then the Ninja Bike ones. But I've got crit on everything. It's getting me to 55 and 96.
Agent, hostiles are retaliating in Foggy Bottom.
All right, let's do it. This will get us our pry objective. Hopefully we get another True Patriot piece, then we can claim all of our stretch goals levels.
You have to move fast, Agent.
Doomot said, I would like to see the ability to switch from third to first person. Also upgrade lower tier gear through materials to an exotic level. Honestly, I don't know if I would personally care for either of those things. I don't really want... I feel similar to first person as I do to realism mode. I appreciate that some people want that. It's not what I want out of Division. So I don't know if I would want them spending resources developing a first person mode. As far as upgrading lower tier gear into exotic quality, like, I personally prefer kind of the RNG grind approach to exotics. I know that's certainly not everybody though, but yeah, I don't know if that would be quite what I lean for. Stefan, what's up? Do you think a surprise current gen upgrade for Div 2 could be one of the announcements at Gamescom? I mean, anything's possible, right? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know if... Like, I'm curious what people would want to see out of a next-gen upgrade. They already did frame rate and load times back in 2021, and I just don't know if that's... At the point at which Division 3 is already coming, I don't know if making next-gen consoles, like, do a little bit more than they do now is really a top priority. But I don't know. Maybe that's what the people want to see. Like, I play on Series X, and I think the game already looks and runs better than, honestly, a lot of newer games that come out now. Doesn't mean it still couldn't do more, but that's just me. Yeah, whatever Postman is going off about right now is exactly why he gets ignored. I'm just kidding, Postman. I love you.
Reinforcements en route.
Just kidding.
Incoming hostiles detected. Heavily armored hostiles.
How good is your PC? My new one's pretty good. I just got a new PC about a month ago, and I'm very happy with it. It's got a 5080 and a...
Hostile detected.
I'm gonna forget the CPU name. Why? I'm spamming Invincible and it's not procking.
Agent down.
Why is that happening?
Agent vital signs.
Why, game? Why have you done this to me? Now it works, but I can't take too much damage now because I use my hive. But it's like a Ryzen, one of the good one. 7900 300 XD 3D. This tells you how much I know about PCs. But my previous PC was pretty like mid-range when I bought it or when I put it together in 2023. And so it was time for an upgrade. It was starting to not quite be able to do what I needed it to. I'll find out right now. I don't want to sound like a complete doofus. It is the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D with an RTX 5080. Hazard protection. If next-gen consoles are 1,000, I'll be switching to PC. Yeah, I mean, it honestly seems like that's at least where the current market is going to lean. They're just going to price people out, unfortunately. After seeing the Wildlands update for Ghost Recon's 25th, I'm surprised we never got a Div 1 remaster for the 10th. Yeah, I think for as good as the 10th anniversary was in general, they definitely dropped the ball on doing some kind of Division 1 update in some form. I think ultimately the reason we didn't get it is because the people who would work on that are working on Division 3. And so ultimately, if I have to choose between a Division 1 10th anniversary update or Division 3, I would still take Division 3. But in a perfect world, it would have been very nice to get more for that.
Watch out. There's a kill squad in the area.
Where are they spawning from? Oh, they're right here. Hello. Nice to have you join us up here. She have like clown makeup on? I never realized that. That's cool.
Hostile shock trap.
It's a nice detail.
Hostile control point nearby.
Jawbone has so much armor, both on himself and all of his weak points. I've noticed this a lot recently. And of course I don't have Striker, so I can't like ramp my damage off of that. Which is unfortunate. Like, good lord. I can't break that thing. There we go. Do the not knocking have shade skills? Yeah, I think they try and give the kill squad. Well, maybe not the normal ones. I don't remember. But yes, they try and give bosses shade skills when they want them to be a little bit more threatening. There's still a loading bug on my Div 1 copy that's tied to Xbox's FPS boost function. Really? The game won't load character selection if any FPS boost is on. Can you turn that off, though? I thought that was like a mandatory opt-in upgrade that Xbox gave. That's kind of wild. I've never had any issues with it personally, but that's very frustrating. Oh, shoot. It's not good.
Incapacitated target.
Some players had that bug. I was looking all around the forums.
Incoming.
Contacted support, nothing worked. That's super weird.
Additional hostile contacts.
Yeah, and I bet unfortunately they just have
Hostile detected.
no one with that codebase knowledge to go and fix that at this point. I do think it's very fair to say that support for Division 1 overall, just in terms of franchise level stuff, could definitely have been handled better. They've got a lot of
Serious trauma detected.
desync and server issues as well that don't get sorted with any kind of regularity or speed, which is too bad.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Lucas, my guy, what's going on, man? Wonderful to see you. Headshot damage. Have you heard anything about new novels coming out? I've not, unfortunately. I really hope we get them at some point. I would probably guess that they will do another one for Division 3's launch. That's what they did with both Div 1 and 2, was put out like a tie-in novel for that. But that might be the next one we get. I don't know if they're going to try and do one before that or not. Just giving a break from work for a couple of minutes. Well, thanks for jumping in here, man. Always good to see you. The curious tale of too many Lucases. They're endless. It's just the Spider-Man meme. That's always what I think of. They're all pointing at each other. Now I want a sourdough grilled cheese sandwich. What's wrong with you people? That sounds really good. By the way, I'm kidding. I'm just hungry. That sounds very, very good. I'm glad we seem to all to be able to agree that sourdough is... Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a chess piece. I don't want a chess piece. Are you kidding me? I'll still take it, but... I don't want that. Now Lucas is back. The Lucas verse is colliding. They're all here. But I'm glad many of us seem to be able to agree that sourdough is elite. Because it is. The only book I've yet to do is the one on audio. Yeah, Hearts on Fire. It's a good one. It's nice context for Brooklyn. Because you get to meet Hoskins. So, I really enjoyed that one, even though it's obviously a bit of a different thing than we might be used to. I'm on lunch break now. I got you. Ben Bing, thank you so much for joining up to Rogue Studios on YouTube. I appreciate it greatly, man. Helps directly support the channel. Enjoy the badge, enjoy the emotes. If you want to join us on Discord and link your YouTube account, you'll get some special access on there too. Thank you so much.
Hostile control point identified.
Alright, I'm not fighting those guys. Get me up here. What gun is that, Mr. Coffee? This is the Steel & Sons Exotic ACR that released from the new Incursion Broken Rain. So you can get it from that bit of content. Need Hearts on Fire. Not only is it Division, but it's Katie Sackhoff. I know. I wish that they had gotten her to voice Hoskins in game, but sadly it's a different voice actress. That would have been so cool though. But yeah, I know her best from Battlestar, and so as soon as they said she was going to be in it, I was like, oh, I gotta see that, or I gotta listen to that, if you will.
They won't reach more cover.
Reinforcements en route. Incoming hostiles detected. Heavily armored hostile detected.
feel like I'm holding out at the gates here. So many ads pouring in. I'm at Helm's Deep. There we go. With explosive resistance. Crit damage and knee pads, I'll take those. Something for you to toy with Rogue, but look at Nurse's needs with Backfire Striker. I had tried to put together one of those earlier in the season, and then I think I just moved on to something else. But 100%, Nurses are super good for Backfire with whatever combo you want to go with, since you can still stay damage focused. Or even if you wanted some other hazard damage build that was non-Backfire. It's just really good for that. Neil, this is the Steel and Sons exotic ACR from the Broken Rain incursion that released last week. Demon, thank you so much for hanging out as always. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you back soon. Well, we had an okay haul. All things considered. We got, I think, 2 skill haste pieces and a couple more crit ones. I'll take it.
Civilians are safe for now.
And we should have a bunch of stretch goals ones to open here at the end, so let's do that. Save up your materials now for all the build crafting we're going to be doing in the new season with the rebalance. That's why I'm just going to stockpile all my exotic components and whatnot. Grab all these. Stack broker and a Liberty out of there. Joe coming in as well. Wait. Oh, so my thing is wrong. It says that that notification is exclusively for... I see. There it is. Joe, welcome back, man. Thank you very much for re-upping, supporting the channel. I appreciate it sincerely. Sorry if I missed that by a minute or two. Did I just see Proto Turmoil knee pads? I own those, yeah. Upgraded them myself. What's the difference between green cyan color gear? They're both the same. Centric, I just have a colorblind setting on that changes how they look a little bit. So if I, whoops. If I turn that off, then they're back to the normal view. This looks so foreign to me after I become accustomed to the other one. Mark up all of these. I did kind of want to compare what I had in my stash. I didn't realize I had a prototype True Patriot. It's headshot damage though, that's not great. Whatever, I'll just dump these in. They gave us more stash space, so I can afford the space to ignore them until later. Which is definitely not a good way to go about it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't think there were any holsters. Oh, there was. Put that in. Alright. Looks way better, at least to me. New to Div 2. Watched a bunch of your videos. They're very helpful. Thank you for making them. You're very welcome. Yeah, the only reason I have it on, Centric, is that when you turn any of the colorblind settings on, it adds a radius to your skills and grenades. So you see those white lines around there. That does not exist on non-colorblind. A lot of us wish they would just separate those two and make it its own toggle. But that is a perk of doing that. Crazy Lucas, as always, I appreciate you very much, man. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Take your time as well. I know you got a lot going on, but we appreciate you stopping by. What's the way to get 525? They added 25 in the event pass bundle for this current one that's on here. If I can find it in here. I thought it would be there. But the Broken Rain event pass bundle gives you 25 slots. All right, everybody. I think we are going to wrap up there for the day. I appreciate you all coming by and making the stream amazing as always. Also, a very wonderful turnout for there not being much going on. We still have well over 350 people watching on Twitch. Bunch of people on YouTube. I appreciate you. I unfortunately will not be here on Thursday. I've got something going on. However, next week is Gamescom. So big stuff. I'm going to be live on both Wednesday and Thursday to watch the panels and live react with all of you. But until then, I think things will be mostly chill. I'm trying to take it a little bit easy after the chaos of last week and before the chaos of next week. So there'll be a few videos and whatnot. But for the most part, we will be counting down until things kick off again next Wednesday. Is Livid on Div 2? It looks like she is. If you're on Twitch and you want to get last drops progress, if you got about 3 hours to go until that's over, I will raid Livid right now. So you can keep watching and get those checked off before it's over. But otherwise, thank you all so much as always for the love, the support. Couldn't do it without all of you, sincerely. And I will see you back before too long. Until then, everybody, RogueGold out.